Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Bleach Cowboy overanalyzes stuff in Bleach Brave Souls. And today, we're going to take a look at the new Tsukishima that's about to come out. I feel he's the strongest character in this batch, and we're going to compare him to Yhwach. Why are we doing the comparison? Because I feel like they're both they both are mind characters that are suited mostly for PvP. That's not saying they're not good in PvE content, but I believe their strength is PvP. Yhwach is already doing very well in PvP. A lot of people are using him and he's very effective. But will the new Tsukishima surpass him, or will he be a viable alternative? That's the question I want to answer. So let's get started, guys. Let's look at the basics. Both are mind characters. One, the Tsukishima, is human. Yhwach is no affiliation. Now in this category, Tsukishima has the advantage because there doesn't exist a human killer character, so he is not weak to any killer attributes or from his enemies. Yhwach, also a very good affiliation because there's only two no affiliation killers. One is the new Okiura, and the other one is Mind Tsukishima. So most enemies aren't going to have extra damage against either of these characters, but Tsukishima, nobody's going to have extra damage against him. I hope I explained that well. As far as their killer trait, Tsukishima is a no affiliation killer, so he's good against Yhwach. Whereas Yhwach has captain killer, and there's a lot of captains in PvP right now, especially in the higher leagues. We have Retsu, we have Yamamoto, people are still using Blue Kenpachi. So the Yhwach killer ability is definitely better than the Tsukishima killer ability. Both have 16% damage reduction, so they're equal on that front. So overall, I think Yhwach has the edge here, just because he has a captain killer, and that's a lot of extra damage against, a lot of current PvP meta characters. Tsukishima being human is also very good because there's no one that has extra damage on him. So I mean, it's pretty even here, but I believe the edge will go to Yhwach. Let's move on, guys. Let's talk about the stats. If we look at the stats, they're very, very similar. Tsukishima has 6 more stamina, 7 more attack, and 5 more defense. But Yhwach has 19 more focus and 29 more SP. So 29 more SP is significantly higher. That's enough to make maybe a little bit of a difference. I believe the edge here in stats will go to Yhwach, but only by the slightest of margins. Moving on, guys. Let's do this quick. If we look at the 6-star upgrades, both of them have Sprinter, of course. Both of them have Bruiser, but Yhwach has a 30% Bruiser, and Tsukishima only has a 20% Bruiser. So he has a slightly better increase to his normal attacks. Yhwach does. If we look at the 3rd upgrade, Tsukishima has Devastation, which gives him 40% damage to his special, but Yhwach has Bombardment, which doubles his special damage. So the edge is definitely going to Yhwach as far as specials go. Yhwach's special also inflicts Weaken, whereas Tsukishima's inflicts Confuse. I'll get to Confuse in a moment, guys. The 4th upgrade, which is regarding their strong attacks, Tsukishima has Frenzy, which is basically 100% bonus to his strong attacks. Excellent upgrade. Yhwach has Berserker, which is a 50% upgrade to his strong attacks, so the edge has to go to Tsukishima as far as strong attack damage goes. But remember, guys, Yhwach still has a slightly higher base SP. They both have Debilitator, so their status ailments last a long time. And in the last category, Yhwach has a start barrier, where he can take 10 hits without receiving any damage. And Tsukishima has Confusion Immunity, which is not really going to be that useful unless you're going against another Tsukishima, or maybe, I don't know, Hollow Kaname, which is not going to happen. The barrier for Yhwach is definitely a huge advantage. It's a character-defining trait for Yhwach. Gives him a little bit of freedom at the start of any PvP battle to get off strong attacks and to do damage. So overall, guys, the edge, I would say it has to go to Yhwach. The barrier, the increased special, and the slightly better Bruiser. Although Tsukishima does have Frenzy, which is not to be underestimated. But I'm gonna give it to Yhwach by the slightest of margins. Frenzy is really good. I'm tempted to say that Tsukishima has better 6-star upgrades, but when you compare the confusion resistance with the damage barrier, there's no contest. So edge to Yhwach as far as 6-star upgrades. Now, the most important thing you have to consider, guys, is the actual kit or their actual mechanics of their strong attacks. And as I was analyzing the footage of Tsukishima and Yhwach, just off my rudimentary observations, Tsukishima has an extremely quick startup time or activation time for his strong attacks, meaning they come out very quickly. There's no delay. And this was what made the original manga Toshiro very strong when he came out, was his activation speed. He's usually the first character on the field to do damage with a strong attack because it's like that. It comes out so fast. And Tsukishima is the same way. Yhwach is also very quick, but when I was kind of looking at the two clips side by side of Tsukishima and Yhwach, I feel like Tsukishima, it was just faster. I feel like it was just faster, and that might give him the edge there. So he doesn't have the barrier, though, because the barrier means that it doesn't matter the activation speed for Yhwach. Yhwach, you're not going to interrupt his strong attacks because of that barrier. At least, the first three, or first two, whatever he can get off before that barrier goes away. Tsukishima does not have that luxury, so he's going to have to be faster, basically. And I think, from the gameplay footage I've seen, he does achieve that feat of having extremely fast strong attacks. Now, his normal attack string is also very good, and it can proc Confuse. Yhwach's normal attack string is a little bit slower. It's ranged, though, and it can proc Paralysis. So, as far as normal attacks go, you're really not looking for damage out of their normal attacks unless you have specific types of builds. A lot of people do put Chappies on Yhwach and make him a normal attack character just because it'll give him more survivability. But primarily, you're looking for procs when once they've blown all their strong attacks. And Confuse, guys, if you remember recently, Confuse had an update, and if I can find it, I'll bring it up on screen right here. So the new Confuse in PvP will randomize the direction of a character's attacks, and that's what it always did in the past. But now these attacks can damage yourself, and it damages anyone in range. So if you think about that, guys, Tsukishima procs a Confuse, and it sends whoever, Retsu, attacking in the wrong direction. And while she's going in the wrong direction, she runs into her teammates and starts doing mad damage on them. And at the same time, she's damaging herself. So it could be a very strong ability in PvP, guys. I have yet to test it because there's not really any characters that I have that would be able to test it properly. I mean, I could try it with OG Aizen, but I have a feeling he won't survive that long. But with this new Tsukishima, he should be able to cause problems for anyone he faces. Is it stronger than Yhwach's Paralysis procs? I don't know. Paralysis is pretty powerful as well. But Confuse, it has the potential for your opponents to wipe themselves out. So I mean, it's kind of an RNG type thing with Confuse, it seems like. We have to test it. It remains to be seen whether or not it's effective. Very interesting things happening with the mind characters these days. We're about to have two meta mind characters. At least that's my assumption. I don't know if Tsukishima will deliver on being a meta PvP character, but on paper he seems to have all the things you need to be very good. Alright, so I'm not sure if I'm going to make a conclusion as to which one's better until we have actual footage and people have actually tried it. But I guess on paper I'll say that Yhwach still has the slight advantage because of the barrier, because of the higher statistics, and his special is a lot better. Both these characters can achieve 76% damage reduction. You know what? I'm not going to say Yhwach is better. I think Tsukishima will give him a run for his money, no question. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think about these two characters. Which one would you rather have in PvP? Which one's better? Actually, that's the more important question. So let me know in the comments. That's all I have for this video. And good luck on all your pulls tonight, guys. Go for Tsukishima. He's good. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.